Hey guys, welcome back to Tea with the Supreme Spotlight Sunday. My name's Cass. I'm here with Ebony, Julie, and Savannah. Say hi, guys.
Hey
Hey,
everybody.
hi guys.
Always gotta come out with that.
Well, at least I'm consistent.
True. Um, so this week is when Kwanzaa starts. So December 26th is actually on a Sunday. So this is premiering the first day of Kwanzaa. And this was an educational experience for me because I really had no idea everything that went into Kwanzaa and how meaningful it is. So join me on my educational journey. And one of our Supremes does celebrate Kwanzaa, so she's going to bring in some personal experiences for Kwanzaa. So Kwanzaa is a festival observed by many African Americans from December 26th through January 1st, so it's 7 days, as a celebration of their cultural heritage and traditional values. So Kwanzaa is a Swahili word that means first and signifies the first fruits of harvest. One of these is the celebration of the harvest. At this time of the year, people of the community / village come together and celebrate and give thanks for their good fortune. So this is going to be my first, I might mess this up the way I say this. Karamu is the big feast traditionally held on December 1st, or December 31st, I'm sorry, the 6th day of Kwanzaa. The 5 common sets of values that are central to the activities of the week are in gathering, reverence, commemoration, recommitment, and celebration. So in Kwanzaa, there are 7 candles. So Mishamu Saba are the 7 candles of the Kinara that represent the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So the first is unity, or umaja. The second is self-determination, kujichagulia. That I probably really messed that up. So the third is collective work and responsibility, ujima, cooperative economics, ujamaa, purpose, nia, creativity, kuamba, faith, imani, and then each of the 7 candles signifies the principles. Like Jewish and Hanukkah, candles are used to represent the concepts of the holiday. So moving on to the actual celebration, that's December 31st. So Mkika refers to the straw mat on which a Kwanzaa centerpiece is arranged. Items placed on the mat include mazu, a bowl of fruits and vegetables, especially those native to Africa, muhindi, or vibanzi, ears of corn that represent the number of children in the family, kikombi cha umoja, a unity cup, and zawandi, gifts. That's a lot.
First of all, Joyous Kwanzaa, which is one of the
Yes.
greetings, Joyous Kwanzaa. And I'm so proud of you. You did well. Very, very good.
I'm
You did
trying.
well. You are. I'm so excited that we're having the conversation. So please
Yes.
continue. I just wanted to greet you and
Of course.
Go ahead.
So that is the mat in which the Kwanzaa centerpieces are arranged. And then there's a candle lighting ceremony. So the candle lighting ceremony is central to the celebration of Kwanzaa that takes place at a time where all the members of the family are present. Children are also encouraged to take an active role in all activities and participate just as much as the adults do. So the ceremony begins with tambiko, or libation, an African form of praise, which pays homage to personal and collective ancestors. So to begin, the elders of the household pours wine, juice, or distilled spirits from the unity cup I can't say that without looking at the pronunciation, into the earth or an earth-filled vessel. While pouring, the elder makes a statement honoring the departed family members for the inspiration and values they have left with the descendants. And friends are also remembered at that time. So after the Tambico, as a gesture of unity, the elder drinks from the unity cup and then passes it for all to share. It's not very COVID friendly right now, but y'all make do with what you got. The elder leads the call, Harambe, which means let's pull together, and everyone participates in repeating the phrase 7 times. Candle lighting, which is central to the ceremony, reinforces the meaning of the principles. The placement of the Mishu Masaba, or the candles in the Kinara, is as follows. So black, for the color of the African peoples everywhere, is located in the center. 3 red candles represents the blood of the ancestors and are placed to the left. 3 green candles that symbolize earth, life, and ideas and promises of the future are placed to the right. Beginning on December 26th with the black candle, a different candle is lit each day, alternating from left to right. After the candle lighting, the principle of the day is discussed. And then after this, we're going to move on to Ebony. This is just the educational part, guys. So in 1966, America, Maulana Ran Karenga and the US organization adopted the basic principles of the harvest celebrations in Africa to create the observance of Kwanzaa in America. Karenga recognized that on the whole, African Americans do not live in an agricultural setting in America. However, he wanted to emphasize that the basic principles founded in producing harvest are vital in building and maintaining strong and whole communities. And this is how Kwanzaa was developed. Kwanzaa is the time when the community reflects on the use of basic principles, shares and enjoys the fruits of their labor, and recommits to the collective achievement of a better life for their families and communities.
And joyous Kwanzaa, joyous
Yes.
Kwanzaa. I am so excited and so proud of you, Cass, for even doing the research and doing the work. I will say, to give all sides to this, that Kwanzaa is something that is sometimes a highly divisive conversation in the community. There are a lot of the rituals that you explain that I do not follow. I do not celebrate Christmas. However, we celebrate Christmas for the birth of Jesus. However, Jesus wasn't born in December. Research proves that. And so, and then with the passing of my father 4 days before Christmas, Christmas is a different time for me. So God has a sense of humor, apparently, because he gave me my son in December. So Christmas was something I had to begin to celebrate again in that the general terms of it. So the decision to begin to celebrate Kwanzaa was at a time in my life when I was searching for connection and my roots in my history. I had started researching years back genealogy. My father, being deceased, was the only child, and I had no connection to his mother died when he was young, and I had no connection to that side of the family. And then moving to the very rural South where we are now, that took away my connection from my mother's very large family. So I started looking for that and began celebrating because of a friend of mine who is who is African, and we started celebrating. And for me and a lot of people that I know, some of the principles, because the founder of Kwanzaa has some other issues, and it's really hard to separate, but it was the celebration of family and connectedness and connectivity. So you have described the seven principles, and the purpose of that is to bring a collective mentality back to your family and your community. So I study in my personal faith, we study a lot of the Jewish roots of Christianity and Judaism. When you begin to study, there are similarities and connectedness. So what you will see in Kwanzaa is some of those same um, rituals and ceremonies that happen when you study Passover and how the Jewish feast is done, and Hanukkah and the celebrations. You'll find some similarities in some of the ceremonial things that are done. For me, even with the group, when I celebrate Kwanzaa, um, it is to celebrate the principles, to create community and um, a corporate connectivity. We have celebrations of the community and people that I did not know, or people that I maybe have are not familiar with. We gather together and we talk about how we can create a corporate unity in our neighborhoods and create connectivity, and how we can celebrate ourselves, because we are not always, we being African Americans, and anyone that is of African descent that comes to the United States, it is a loss of culture. African culture is very different. There are things, celebrations. When I go to church with Africans, like they dance. Like you would think they were at the club. They get down, and it is disrespectful not to go down to the floor. Do what? And it was culture shock for me being African American, but it's a part of how they worship and how they praise. So we gather together to remember a time lost, a tradition lost, um, and to honor our history, and then take the wisdom of that collective honored history and now pass it on to the next generation, so that you cannot honor another person if you don't honor yourself first. And part of honoring yourself is to embrace and understand all aspects of who you are. And that is the beauty of Kwanzaa. So we gather together, we give. It's not like Christmas. They're very normally handmade or very creative, sentimental gifts, um, things to honor whatever the principle is. So when you gather together for that day, whether it's unity or faith or um, collective works, or um, we can't empower. If you empower yourself, then you need to empower the others around you, because the empowerment doesn't work. So um, that's how I celebrate Kwanzaa. So it's not about buying things, it's about joining together as a family. Although I'm not doing that drinking out of the one cup. That's not my bag, but um, celebrating and honoring that, honoring the elders, remembering the lessons that they taught, sharing those lessons with those who were not there. Um, there's something about that history that you don't understand the struggles of your elders and why they did the things they did. It was a different time. So um, you remember those times of segregation, and you remember those times of lack, and you remember those times of hurt and brokenness, so that you can build up from that and not stay in that. place. So that is how I celebrate. And I say I because my family doesn't celebrate Kwanzaa. So I don't celebrate Kwanzaa with at least not my immediate family. That's not there. And that's fine. That's not their thing. I did share it with my son growing up and do it and celebrate it. But it also speaks to how family extends because I consider the Supremes family. And as I was celebrating Kwanzaa for the last 2 years, I have included them in that, at least with the knowledge and understanding and the meaning of what Kwanzaa was. So as it is an education for you and for your collective, it is an education. It is your responsibility to collectively educate those that are around you. So I have amazing friends and extended family members and people that became extended family because of those community celebrations. So first family, those immediate influences, and then you extend it because you cannot grow and accomplish and leave your community behind.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this before about like chosen family, like y'all are my chosen family. So it's not just blood family, it also extends to people who are not your family, but you choose to be your family. And that's beautiful. I love that so much. And I have so much respect for those who celebrate Kwanzaa and going down my rabbit hole. Like, it's an awesome holiday if you celebrate it. And joyous Kwanzaa.
Joyous Kwanzaa to everyone. Harambe!
Harambe!
Absolutely, absolutely. And fun fact, my mother made us, well, my parents made us go to school during the summer. It was a requirement. You didn't have summer vacation. And she made us take foreign languages in the summer. And one of the first foreign languages I took was Swahili as an elementary school. That's the joys of Brooklyn. But as an elementary school student, she made us take Swahili. So I told her, it's your fault, but she doesn't see it that way.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing your experiences and your knowledge on Kwanzaa because I was not educated on this until I don't want to say forced, but I wanted to do further research on this so that we can celebrate with our virtual Supremes and our virtual fam.
I love that. I love that, Supremes, that as we go forward, that not only do we learn, we take the time to learn with each other, that we learn from each other. So thank you for sharing this part of my culture. I honor each of you for that, and that, take the principles. I think we apply those principles to if you really study them, we apply them to our own counseling, our lives, and those thoughts we apply to that of the work that we will do and how we will advocate and how that's what it speaks to. Advocating for myself, advocating for my community, and not leaving anyone behind. So thank you for honoring this piece of me.
I second that. Thank you for the education because I told our Supremes before this is just a space for me to learn. And I knew nothing other than I knew it was a holiday. That was pretty much the extent of it. And Ebony is so kind to share when the holiday comes up, words of wisdom. But it was neat to learn about the traditions and the principles. So thank you.
I really enjoyed learning about the knowledge that Cassandra had to bring to the table, and you, Ebony, from an internal perspective. It was very interesting to learn about both.
So I thank you all for joining us today, and joyous Kwanzaa to all our virtual fam who celebrates Kwanzaa. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Joyous Kwanzaa, everyone.